Good morning. What is happening? Good morning to everybody that watches the live 365 on live or live and then on the rewind. We get a lot of people that check it out later in the day or maybe when you're driving or doing something where you don't necessarily need to be sitting right in front of the computer, but we appreciate that. If you don't know me or you haven't been here before, my name's Bob Turner. I call this Live 365, where every day I jump on for 15, 20 minutes or so and just share some experience that I've had in business and personal development. And lately, I've been bringing on some people that I've either coached or that have supported me in my coaching business or have become friends or all three. People that operate at a high level or try to, that have high standards and are always trying to get better, and that understand that the road to the personal development, business development finish line is never finished. There really is no finish line. So good morning, Jess Novak and Ben Bryant. My dad is here. Elizabeth from Natchez is here. And we got Bill Gustafson on this morning. And Bill is a guy that I got to know over the last few years, well, several years, 5, 6 years, I guess it is. And it's made me realize that, everybody that's become successful is truly standing on the shoulders of someone else. Okay. I've introduced you to a lot of those kind of people today. And I want to introduce you to another guy today that has helped me and pushed me and kept me accountable at times. And has been in the construction industry for over 40 years. And last year I had the privilege of coaching him. And what I remember about it is he stayed coachable. Okay. It would have been easy to kind of just say, well, Bob, I'm older than you. What can you teach me? And since then, he's walked through some incredibly tough times, losing a business partner and going through some physical stuff with a knee replacement, surgery, and all that kind of stuff, all while growing the team and growing personally and professionally. So, Bill Gustafson, thanks for joining me. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm good. Thanks for the introduction.
Yeah. Well, why don't you take it from here for a second and tell everybody a little bit about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? Fill them in.
My name is Bill Gustafson, and I've been in the construction business for 45 years. Started in 1982 and went into the family business. Started as a screen man, worked my way up over a long period of time to being my father's partner back in 2007. And then unfortunately he passed and I took it over when I wasn't ready and went from there. About 6 years ago, we also were able to purchase another property, which I became partners with a great guy, Bob LaPierre. And we've run the siding, and I run a siding company over here and a commercial glass company from where I came from, when I started. So running two companies is a juggle, but I got some good people in place, and losing Bob was a big hit. And luckily, I was able to mix with Alex Redmond, who most of you guys know. We partnered up over here, and so far so good.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. 45 years in, like, what still gets you excited to go to work, Bill?
The hope that I can put the super team together that I've been dreaming about forever, and we're as close as we've ever been right now. Being in construction, it's tough. Guy, we've always been the trade that people look down on, and everybody knows that. You got guys in here that are, he's an alcoholic, he's a drug addict. Well, that's changed now. These kids coming up are a whole different breed, and I love it. I love their attitude. It's got me excited again.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. What do you think would surprise people about your journey of 45 years in?
Probably that would surprise people that 3 years in, my father fired me for not working very hard. He came to my house and fired me. And I said, that's fine, because I want to be a screenwriter. That's always what I wanted to be anyway. I was writing screenplays at the time as a hobby. And I went out to California. I told him, yep, heck with you. And fell on my face as hard as you could fall out there. And came back with my tail between my legs and realized that construction's not so bad. And I really, yeah. From that point on, if I hadn't done that, I probably would have been miserable. But I realized it's not such a bad trade, and then really got into it, started taking it seriously, and that's been it.
That's pretty cool, and humble too to have to come back and do that, and and get going. And like, think back to when you were young and you were at it. What do you think young contractors get wrong today?
They try to do everything.
Yeah,
Like when you start a business, you are doing everything. You're wearing all the hats.
sure.
My father and his partner at the time, they were chucking a truck. They didn't know what they were doing, so
Right,
they passed that not knowing what they were doing on to me, and we basically made a week's pay for 30 years.
right.
So what I would tell young guys just starting out now is just work hard, but also keep track. You've got two jobs. You're a construction person, but you're also a manager. So
Mhm.
that part of it is the hardest part. We can all learn how to do the trade, but when learning how to run in the business, it's totally
Yeah.
two different things.
Yeah, not everybody signed up for it. Hey, I'm really good at siding or really good at roofing or whatever. I think I'll start my own business. Looks like that guy over there is making lots of money. He's got a nice truck. And then you get into it and you realize you got to do QuickBooks and you got to hire and fire and market and what's a lead and what is ad spend and what's ROAS and all that stuff, right? And we go, whoa, I wasn't really planning on doing all of that stuff. I kind of like just doing the craft, but it's too late. Now you're a leader and now, now you're a manager, right? Now you got this ball going that you got to keep rolling. Okay. What's a belief you had, say, 30 years ago that you no longer believe, Bill?
I tried to bring the whole team together in unity and be the super team and have everybody love each other, but that didn't work out as well. I think most people don't want to be coddled like that. Really good workers
Yeah.
want to come into a company that has a vision and go at it strong that way.
Yeah. It's interesting. Um, I had the privilege of working with you there for a while, and I know that one of the things that you worked on was getting out of the way. And I think that when I've talked with you recently, you've mentioned that and you've kind of gotten out of the way. Um, talk about that for a minute. Was that difficult for you?
Oh my God, that was the hardest. That was the hardest part because I know everything. Like every owner in every business, we know better. We know the right way to do it. My company came to me and kind of said, you know what, as delicately as possible, said you're in the way. You know what I mean?
Mm,
You're undercharging. You're still charging from the '90s. We're just not. We could
right.
be making more money. Let us try to do it. And I finally got pushed out of the way, and my office manager in the glass department, Carolyn, pushed me out of the way the hardest. She's actually running that part of the business now, and she's doing a great job. She's
Sure.
making money. She's giving them prices I would have never dared to give them. And
Right.
I'd get the side call up, Bill, Carolyn's calling, can you reprice this? And I'm like, I really can't. She's doing that now, and she's doing great. And now we're making more profit. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. We're in
My
business to make
ego was
money.
ridiculous. It was
Yeah,
ridiculous. Like
yeah,
everyone
nobody does it.
else's.
Nobody does it
No,
like us, right?
no.
Yeah. Was there something that finally convinced you to just trust your people more and just let go?
Yeah, my wife Michelle grabbed me by the throat and said, "Let Carolyn run this." And I was
There you
like,
go. That'll do
"Yes,
it.
dear. Yes, dear.
Yeah.
All right, we'll try that."
Hey, tell us more about Alex. I've met him, spent some time with him, but some of the people on here haven't heard of Alex. He's a big dude. He's got a big heart. Tell us more about Alex.
Alex is a throwback to the guys in the '80s and the '90s that just came to work and that just come to work, do their work, no crap. He's an excellent worker. He's got a great attitude. He was taught by Bob, who was under his thumb the whole time. Everything he did wasn't good enough. Push, push, push.
Right.
And most kids today would crumble and just say, "No, I'm out of here." And
Yeah.
it made him better. And I'm lucky. I was so unlucky to lose Bob, but I was lucky to get him.
Mm,
And you know, I would have never known him if me and Bob didn't hook up. But he's done a great job. And he's a guy I can depend on. I don't have to worry. I don't have to go look and drive around and make sure that truck is where it's supposed to be.
yeah.
Think about it. I know
Pretty
he holds himself up to a higher standard than I do.
pretty safe bet. Alex is on the job today, getting shit done. Right.
And I can
Well,
use it for collections too. That's just good.
it's always good. Yeah, he's a big dude. I'm like, oh, hey, how are you? Yeah, I miss seeing him. Yeah, do you think that the letting go stuff and kind of handing the reins over to others has made your business stronger?
It's made the business a lot stronger, and it's made me a lot less stressful. It'll probably add years to my life because I don't
Yeah.
have to sit, I don't have to lay in bed and look at the ceiling at 3 o'clock in the morning, wondering how I'm going to get this done or what should I charge here? Or, am
Yeah.
I going to get screamed at tomorrow? So I love
Right.
it. Like Carolyn's getting screamed at now and I'm just in the background. So it's
Yeah.
nice.
There you go. Well, last year, I mean, you let's touch on it a little bit. Last year was a tough one, right? Lost Bob, and I had the pleasure of meeting Bob. I came down and spent the day with you guys, working on some things. And what a great dude, salt of the earth, old school dude, right? Like you say, pull into the driveway and go, that piece of fascia's crooked, tear it down, And he was a great guy, and reminded me a lot of someone else I knew. And in that time too, you had a knee replacement, right? So you had to step away a little bit from the business. Okay. How'd your team respond? And, what did the last year teach you?
Resilience that the company could go on without me, which
Mm,
no one ever wants to think about. But they stepped right up. I didn't have to. I was out for 3 months. Now I know another contractor that just had one. He's already back to work because he's so stressed.
right.
He's like, "Oh, Bill, can you think I could drive?" And I'm like, "I was out for 3 months and I didn't have to one time. The only time I called is because I was bored and I wanted someone to talk to. Are you sure you don't need me?" But
Right.
they were great. They just took over and did it. They just knew the role and I didn't have to worry about that. So it made it easier for me,
That's
for
awesome.
sure.
Well, I remember, and I know you won't mind me sharing. I know from our coaching calls, one of the very first things you said to me was like, I always fight my way out of the corner. I'm way better in the 11th hour. I'm like, when the chips are down, then I'm like dialed in and got to do it. But all the stuff leading up to how you got in the corner is like the stuff that we worked on attacking, right? Why do you think that was like that you thrived under pressure when maybe we could have done some things to avoid the pressure going in?
Because I was a procrastinator
Yeah.
and still fight with that to this day. Because
Yeah.
I would wait till that last, how many, what day, if I start now, will I be able to finish it?
Right.
And it's the worst way to be because it's nothing but stress. And, sometimes you don't make it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't make that deadline and you fall on your face. So it's so much
Right.
better to plan. It's so much better to embrace technology and get things down on paper and get ahead of stuff instead of trying to do it at the last minute. It's too stressful.
So yeah,
And
are
everybody
you?
does it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I do too. You feel like you're more proactive now?
Trying to be,
Yeah.
trying to be. It's a lesson
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm 62 and, I just feel like I wish I could go back, take the 62-year-old, what I have now and go back at 24. I'd be a killer. But,
Yeah.
so I don't plan on going anywhere anyway. I'm not like I'm retiring next year. So I want to keep learning. I want to keep getting better. That's why
Yeah.
I'm on here. That's why I'm on all these things that we do
Yeah.
is to see someone else's perspective.
Well, you often, I mean, you and I'll throw Bunker into this too, and maybe Roy and some of the guys that have been at it a long time. Sometimes, and you've said this to me before, like you have a little bit of scarcity thinking, like, look at those guys over there. I'm not part of that crew, or I don't deserve a seat at that table. And I know you've tackled that stuff of recent and just stepped up to the plate and said, you know what? I've got a lot to offer. I've been through a lot. I know some things. I've had some success. How has that kind of come about with you, and where do you suppose that scarcity came from to begin with?
I'm a I'm a loner, which is the worst thing you can be as an owner,
Mm,
because as an owner, you should be out there, checking everything, making sure the guys are okay and doing that. I have a loner mentality. I always have, which is great if you're a lead guy and you want to just do your own thing. But as an owner, being a loner is tough, and I've always shied away from doing all that stuff. And
mm,
as a company, I've never worked anywhere else, so I don't really play well with others, and I'm
okay.
trying to get over that. It's hard to get involved in a group like this or
Yeah.
any of the groups because it's not my natural thing to jump out and say, "Oh, hey, this is what I should do." And I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone and do more of it because I do
There you
have
go.
it took a long time, but I do have a lot of experience, good and bad, that I could share.
Oh, absolutely. They always say you've forgotten more than most people know about construction in your years, right? So, yeah, and you got to be careful not to alienate yourself, like intentionally, right, and step away when you could just jump in and probably have a great experience. So, I'm glad you're doing that, and it's never too late to extend yourself and get going. Good morning, Tyler Kirk and Dave Howard. Bubba's here. Paul Tarasuka's here. Matt Blood is in the mix this morning. Always like to see Matt. Um, had a knee replacement. Okay, that took you off the pickleball court. Have you worked your way back yet?
Yeah, but it's sad. It's a sad moment out there. They're laughing at me. You know, it's I decided to pull myself back off and say, all right, you gotta then my next goal is to get back into a lot better shape so that I can
Yeah.
get him. I could always do it when I was younger, but
Yeah.
when you hit this age, the body just says, okay, we're done with that.
Yeah. We
So
played a bunch or a little bit, and we were down, I think we must have been down in Florida, and Wendy, I say tripped and fell, and she argues that she dove for the ball and was playing. She's on her way over here. I'll probably catch hell for that, but I think it was a trip. But she still claims to this day it was a dive, full out dive. Anyway, we had a good time with it. It's been good to chat with you this morning. How about some lightning round questions? Coffee, tea, energy drinks? Which one?
oh, coffee,
Yeah,
100%.
all day long, right? Yeah. Hey, favorite project you've ever completed?
Favorite project I've ever completed. It was a three-story office building back in the early 80s that I had no I shouldn't have been doing that job,
Mm-hmm.
and we finished it and we got it done. That's when I realized that we may be able to go to a different level, but I had no right doing that job and we finished it. It came out great. That was my
There you go.
favorite probably.
Hey, I know you like Maine. What's your favorite place in Maine?
Where do you live?
Sure.
No, I love Portland. Where we went up there for your
Portland.
wedding, and
Yeah,
Portland was beautiful. I love that area.
right. Yeah. Hey, I'm not sure if you're a reader. What's a leadership book or a podcast or something that you would recommend to somebody that might be just getting going in business?
I love all the E-Myth books.
E-Myth? Yep.
Yeah, I love the E-Myth books. I just actually got onto and I wrote it down, Contract to Truth website. It's
Okay.
I mean, podcast. It's really good. It's just an old guy, and he's basically kind of doing what we're all doing, just trying to spread his experience, and I really like it. He's real down to earth.
How about a habit that changed your life?
A habit that changed my life. Joking about it. Probably pickleball about 4 years ago. Got me off the couch. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Got me to get, mobile again. Got me active.
Yeah. Well, that's good. What do you think you're better at today than you were 10 years ago?
Dealing with stressful situations. Dealing
Yeah.
with starting to deal with the employees better instead of thinking, just looking at them as my employees, trying to get more into trying to help them as well.
Yeah. Hey, if you had another 40 years, all right, and going to hit the reset button, what would you do differently?
Oh my God, everything. And it's a great answer, but everything. I wouldn't be so afraid. I wouldn't be so
Wouldn't be
afraid to
so
take
afraid.
on stuff. I'd reach out and just be more proactive with these jobs, not sit so much in the background.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And as as you're kind of in the twilight of your career, what do you hope Alex takes away from how you lead and how you run the company?
Twilight, Bob.
Well, hey, you said it.
Um, I would.
Got a few more laps in you.
I'm excited watching what his future is going to be like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't plan on. My wife wants me to retire, and she wants to retire, but she doesn't watch this podcast, so I'm going to say I don't plan on retiring anytime soon, and I want to watch him progress and basically hand the reins off to him, and I think he's going to do great things especially with the kids that are coming up now.
Yeah.
I had no faith in them. 2 years ago, I would have said they're all useless, but I was wrong. There's so
Yeah.
many good people we've brought in, and really we've hit on a couple great ones, and it's awesome. So I'm excited to see what happens to both companies.
Yeah. Well, I've been asking this question of everyone all week, and that's like, imagine imagine a young contractor is watching this morning. He's probably overwhelmed. He doesn't know what direction to turn when he leaves the driveway in the morning, wondering if he'll ever figure it out. Right. As a guy that's been at it for a long time, what's a piece of advice you would give to that person?
As hard as it is, don't get down. Don't get down. The bills are going to come in. You're going to go to the bank and ask them if they can cover a check for you because you're going to make payroll tomorrow, and you're going to get all depressed about it and say, do I need to be in this business? Just get up every day and go to work and do your thing, and
Yeah.
don't be afraid. Don't be afraid and don't be embarrassed to reach out for help. That's what I always was. I never wanted to call somebody or reach out and say, hey, I'm in trouble here. What would you
Right.
do? I kind of didn't know. The old mentality is just shut up and get it done. Don't bother anybody else.
Yeah.
But I would reach out to more people because people in general, I would help if somebody did it for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff, man. Bill, thanks for being here. This has been awesome. I've been looking forward to it. I reached out to you a few days ago and we kind of settled on today. One thing I've always appreciated about you is your willingness to keep growing. Like we don't talk retirement, right? And after 40 years in business, you could have, easily convinced yourself you had nothing left to learn, right? Instead, you've leaned into coaching. You're working on becoming a better leader. That's why I wanted everybody to meet you today. Guys, I hope this has been cool for you to kind of sit down and listen to a guy who's been at it a long time. I hope it reminds you that growth doesn't have an expiration date. Whether you're in business for 4 days or 4 years or 40 years, you can still become a better leader, still become a better husband or wife, father, mother, better example in general. And the question isn't whether or not you're capable of growing. It's, are you still coachable? Okay. And Bill, you're still coachable. So I appreciate you. I love you. I love you guys for being on and watching. And you guys that watch on the rewind, thank you. And thank you for sharing it out. And if this meant something to you today, and you think it might help someone else find their edge, please share it. That's all. Bill, what do you want people to know as we wrap up? Anything you'd like to that you wish everybody knew?
I wish everybody knew that they can do it. They can, that don't put doubt in your head. Some people don't belong in this business. It's brutal, but the ones that are in it, you can do it. And don't let the down times bring you down. There's always, just keep fighting.
Yeah.
I've been as low as you can go probably 3 times in my career and fought back every time.
Yeah.
And, just stay in the game, just do the right thing.
Stay in the game. I love it. Guys, I appreciate you. Bill, thank you very much. Guys, this has been Live 365 day, I don't know, 580 or something like that. We'll get a real number on it tomorrow, but this has been fun having a lot of you guys on. Some of you are listening and watching today, and it's been fun for me and eye-opening for me to see some of the commonalities and the common threads and discipline and not giving up and staying in the game and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, Bill, thanks. You guys go have yourself a great day. Be productive. Do something for someone else. Keep doing good things, and I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Bill.